Hi, welcome to Indira's world, and I'm back. Today I decided, as I've been saying, we are going to recycle. So I'm going to pull out bits and pieces I found in the fridge that I want to use up. One of the things I found is a puff pastry, and I have the option of making it a vegetarian option, a seafood option, or minced beef, which is what I preferred to do today. So I'm going to go straight in and fill up my puff pastry with a savory Asian mince. So let's have a look at what we have in here. Right, now I went through my fridge as usual. It's what I have in my fridge. I found puff pastry. Now here's a good way to be impressing your friends. I found lean beef because we're all into watching how much fat we take in, and the puff pastry is going to make up for it. I've also got some onions and coriander, chili, ginger, garlic, and curry powder, cumin, turmeric, salt, garam masala, tomatoes, all the goody stuff that goes into Asian cooking. But of course, this is very impressive. It always looks better than it actually is to cook. Assembling it together, 5 minutes. Cooking down the mince, maybe 10-15 minutes, and then shoving it in the oven, and you're all ready to impress your friends. It goes down a treat with a nice salad. So let's do this now. Right, I'm having this pan heat up a bit for me, and it is. To that, I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil, and I'm chucking in my onions, garlic, ginger, and a wee bit of green chili. Now, the chili is obviously optional, and let that heat up a bit. I always have a standard thing that when the onions go slightly clear, they're ready to sort of emulsify everything else into it. To this, I'm going to be adding my tomato. That's it. We don't want to burn anything. I'm very good at burning. In goes the tomato. Now to this, I'm going to add my half teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and half a teaspoon of salt. And that's as simple as the ingredients get, along with the mince, the lean mince, which is going in there. Now this is more than I need, so, but rather more than less. So I'll just bung that in. Now we're just going to cook this down till the meat is cooked through, and chuck it all over the cooker, and then I will put it into my puff pastry. But before that, I'm going to preheat my oven to 220 degrees, so it's nice and hot and ready for me. So if you look away now, I'm going to clear up my cooker. That tastes pretty good. Now I'm going to cook this around 10 minutes because we don't want it actually raw, but at the same time, you don't want it getting too dried up either. So I'm going to cook it around 10 minutes, and it should be ready to stuff into the phyllo pastry. Things are opening up now, so obviously people will be coming round, and you want to, rustle up a quick meal. And I just realized I was rearranging everything because life seems to be opening up again. And one of the things I did do was empty out fridges, larders, cupboards, all the rest of it, which is why I started this series on using up what's in my fridge. And yeah, I don't know how people feel about restaurants, bars, everything opening up. It's one side is quite exciting, the other side is not sure what everything's going to be like, So okay, so now I'm going to fill up one of these dishes with my mince. You can make these look as pretty as you want or as basic as you want, it's up to you. Obviously, if you're doing a party, you want your whole thing to look very adorably beautiful, and that's up to you. Now, I take my puff pastry, which has been sitting under the lights for too long, but that's going over there, and I am going to double that over because it is quite thick. I'm going to seal that up and pretty it up, brush it with egg yolk and water, and stick that in the oven. It's going in the oven at 220 for about 25 minutes, and keep it checking. Okay, so here's one I've done a little earlier, but I've made it more like a two-sided one rather than just on the top, the phyllo pastry. It's filled with that lovely mince, and I'm going to cut it for you so you can have a look. I've also managed to dig out some phyllo pastry rather than puff pastry from my fridge, and so I'm doing another part to this program where you're going to be using phyllo pastry instead of puff pastry. As you can see, that is very nice, and it's a sort of snacky thing. Of course, you can make it as deep as you want, and rather than a snack, a proper meal, and serve it with a salad. So there you go. Enjoy!